So today is going to be a bit different. I'm not going to have chocolate. I'm going to have some tea. It's cold brew tea. I made it yesterday and I didn't drink it, so I'm drinking it today. I'm going to take my eye pill. And I got a comment about the fact that, oh, you have so much potential, but this channel is like a diary. Well, my other channel where I meditate. And I responded and I said, well, the channel is to hold myself accountable for 1 hour of meditation every day and for the work that I want to do, even though I haven't filmed the work I'm doing as I should. But yeah, sometimes I don't have the setup necessary to where or the disposition, or I just don't feel like doing the extra work necessary to post a video. Mm. This has a little bit of caffeine, but not a lot because it's one single, um, how is it called? Tea bag in 600 milliliters of water. Plus, it's cold brewed, so it doesn't extract as much caffeine as boiled water would. Pro tip: if you want to reuse plastic bottles, instead of just washing them with soap and water, you might want to add rice inside and then start shaking like a madman. That is gonna really clean it up inside, and you can, even if it has like bad things. So it acts like a brush inside of the bottles, and I haven't seen like it doesn't. If you use a plastic bottle for like 20, 30 times and you wash it like every 4 or 5 times, depending on, you're not changing the liquid, but you do have to wash it. After 2 or 3 weeks, it starts to become murky inside, and even if you wash it, it doesn't go, that murky thing doesn't go away because it's stuck to the walls, depending on what kind of liquid you had inside. Like with tea, it happens. It gets murky quite fast in about 10 days. But if you wash it with rice every time, it doesn't get murky. Like if you wash it with rice every 3, 4, 5 days, it doesn't get that murky. Like now, if I drink this tea and wash it with water and soap, it's going to be fine. But if I do that a few times, like 3 or 4 times, it's still gonna develop a film of something inside. But if I do it with rice, soap, and water, it will not. So I told him it's actually to learn how to speak in front of the camera as well as to hold myself accountable for the meditation and the work. And I really think that people don't understand that. Like, I wouldn't be able to do close to, well, not close to, I've passed. I have 110 days of meditation. So, no, I have exactly 100 days of meditation where I meditated for more than 1 hour every day. I actually, in the first 30 days, I did 2 hours every day. So, yeah, what he's trying to say is that probably that he would want to hear more things from me instead of, and he wanted to help me with growing on YouTube, by giving me a bit of advice of on how to do things. Assuming that he assumed that I don't know how to do those things, but um, I do. I had success on YouTube before, and I have success on YouTube now on other channels. But I've abandoned that. I've abandoned the channel, and I've abandoned ways of success that take like 30 hours to get a lot of views, 30 hours of work. Like, it doesn't make sense, especially because even though I got a lot of views, I haven't gotten paid because it was like 3,000 views on a video. So, or 10,000. I got a 10,000 view video, but a longer time ago. But the thing is that I know how to do that, but I don't want to spend 3 or 4 hours, 30 hours just doing that when I can build skills enough so that when I want to do something, like I decide to get onto another project, another YouTube project, or whatever it may be, I can speak properly in front of the camera. I have the habits, I've built them up, and I've kept consistently improving by practicing, focusing on the ideas and the things that I want to express. And when the time comes, I'm ready to put those skills in action. And yeah, it's so different than whatever else people are doing that people tend to not understand it, and they assume that I want success with these channels. I don't care about the success anymore. I did. At the beginning, I was like, the first few weeks, I was looking at the numbers and looking at the and making calculations on when am I going to get monetized, and I'm like, it it will not matter anyway. Like, the amount of money that YouTube will pay me when I'm monetized, when I will be one day be monetized, is insignificant to the skills that I'm developing and the person that I'm becoming. Yeah. It's like, why would you bother to for chump change? It's probably gonna pay me less than what I make in a day for a month, or less. Gonna pay me like $5 or $30. I've seen some videos about people who just got monetized, and if you don't have a viral video that makes a lot of views and you keep the consistent 500 to 1,000 views, you're not getting a lot of money, really. Plus, I'm reconsidering YouTube quite a bit. I will be considering it further, but I'm trying to, like, it's way different than other platforms. Well, not other. There's a lot of platforms that have the same idea, like the same thing as YouTube. That the idea with digital is that it's there always. But YouTube, Instagram, Facebook is so overwhelmingly like recency biased. It doesn't reward good content. It rewards newer content. Like I would be really curious to see analytics from channels. Well, I can already do that, but recency bias is very, very important. Like people don't, they get recommended like so little of the content that is old. It doesn't get views, it just stagnates at a certain percentage, or not even percentage, but a certain amount of views after a while. It's good because it gets a lot of views super fast, like in a week or two, and then just it stagnates. But so that means that you get more money upfront for your work if you do a good video. But I don't really think, and it motivates you extrinsically to do better videos. Plus, I think AdSense is the worst monetization strategy ever. Like I think you can do a lot more by just doing other things. But I'm not thinking about that. Like I really am not thinking about that. What I'm thinking about is how can I get better and how can I keep this up? Because I really want to see. I just had a big epiphany about the fact that it this channel really changed my life and the other channels as well. Like I'm looking at the start of the day and I'm like, I'm not even having coffee and I'm like super like engaged, and I talk with a bit of oomph behind my words, and I can really construct these complex ideas and complex phrases, and all without a script, which is absolutely great. Yeah, sometimes I'm consumed by my emotions, or I'm consumed by ideas and things that are not really important. But another purpose, another channel, another purpose. This channel also has the purpose of my goals and emotional tracking and how I feel and looking back on what I did in that period of time. And I was thinking that I have to wait like 2, 3, 4, 5 years to look back on this period and see like, oh my God, it's crazy how I was back then and how I am right now. And I didn't even have to wait for 2 years or 5 years. I looked back like 3 or 4 days ago and I was like, oh my Jesus Lord, who was that person? Like, I was talking so slowly and deliberately, but it was deliberately because I didn't have practice in talking this way without a script in front of the camera. So I couldn't put myself out there. I was just boo 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 boo. So crazy how different things are right now and how much better. I just woke up like 25 minutes ago and I'm still groggy, still, and I'm able to do one of the most difficult things for people to do. I get in front of the camera, I start engaging like at the fullest potential that I have at that moment and start spewing ideas that I'm thinking about, and then I'm using my brain to come up with concepts and uh, interesting things to say. Well, if you call this interesting. But, and it's a highly engaging activity for my brain because there is light, there is the camera, and you get used to it. Like, especially if you do it in the morning, you just get used to it. You get the most bang for your buck if you do it in the morning, right when you wake up, and late at night before you go to sleep. Because late at night, you're going to be tired and you're not going to do it. You're not going to want to do it. But if you do it, you get a lot more out of the situation. So both the beginning and the end of this video are in the most difficult times that I can film. So it's right at the edges of my abilities. So that's nice. It's like you can see the progression if you go back like 5 months ago, or yeah, 5 months ago when I started this channel. You can see the progression. You can see where did I peak, where was I like really doing something that I shouldn't be doing with my time or energy or my ideas. And you can dial in and see exactly how zapped of energy I was. And I was like so consumed about this idea of, oh, I want to be a more energetic person, that I wasn't realizing what was holding me back, like social media, coffee, and cigarettes and alcohol. And part of it is not only that I quit those things, because even like 3 weeks ago when I was having coffee and I was smoking and I was drinking and whatever, I wasn't really drinking, but you get the idea. I stopped drinking that much like 4 months ago or 3 months ago. So the point was that I was still energetic, and I didn't even realize it until a few days ago, because I didn't look back to see the progress. I followed my own advice and looked back every 3 or 6 months. I did it after 5, but it was great to notice the huge improvements that I did. And it wasn't only because of the quitting of social media, quitting of smoking and coffee. It was also because I was getting way, way more comfortable and a lot of hours of practice. Of course, I'm going to be better at speaking and expressing myself in front of the camera if I practice it every day for an hour or two. Well, more like an hour, I think. Depends on the day. Sometimes I practice 2 hours, sometimes I practice 30 minutes, depending on what I do. So that's super interesting to notice. And I feel like everybody should start doing a thing like this, like a journal, a diary, a video diary for themselves. Because the writing diary is, yeah, sure, if you want to get better at writing, do that. But I feel like a video diary captures so much more than just like writing, just words. It captures the way you were speaking, the way you were formulating ideas, the vibe that you have, the level of energy, how you were feeling. You can see it. You can grasp the moment, not just read it. Plus, it's very, very, like, diaries are one of the things that are really not uh, read at all. you produce something just to produce it. It's exactly like this. I'm producing something that I don't really, no one's gonna sit there and watch it all. Like it's countless hours, like hundreds of hours. It's gonna be hundreds and hundreds and hundreds of hours of video. But I don't care about it because it's not my, what's it called? My storage. It's Google's storage. Sure, they can train their AI and they have so much of my video, but who cares? Like, really. But I would make it like, even if you don't want to publish your diary and you want to keep things way more private and separated from the internet, I would still do it, and I would put it just so you solve. Well, you can either buy a hard drive and put it on the hard drive. It's easier like that, but I would actually not do that. I would put them on YouTube and set them to private, and you can just watch them just for yourself. You can have these conversations with yourself for later years. I think it's one of the most amazing things. And if you put in a bit of work, like really labeling things and putting a title and changing the title whenever you watch it back, that's a great idea. I'm gonna use that. So whenever you watch it back, you also change the title so it better explains what you talked about. You have a searchable, like kind of a searchable database of your own ideas, and you can also, because it's digital, you can actually have a database of everything that you said, because you can take the transcript and put it in written form, and then you can really search and get the most out of what you did. But it doesn't really matter. Like it's not, the purpose of this is not to squeeze all amount of value out of it, is to express yourself, to see in the future, to look back and notice how you were acting, what you were thinking, what you were feeling, what you were doing, and understand yourself a bit more and see the progress. I think that's one of the most valuable things, because it's so hard to notice how much progress you did, because the progress is slow enough that you don't notice. It's like whenever you have a dog or a kid and it grows and you can't, like, you don't realize how fast they grow up until you see a picture of them like from a few months ago and you're like, oh Jesus. So it's the same with growing your character and your personality and your ideas and your level of energy, especially level of energy, because it's very difficult to raise up the amount of energy that you have in a day, but you can do it slowly, slowly, slowly in a few months, and you're going to be amazed at the difference. You're going to feel the same. That's the worst thing. You're not going to feel super energetic unless you have this perspective that you were feeling in a particular way. But the only way you can have that perspective is by like putting it front of mind and making a video and making a lot of videos documenting how you were feeling and expressing yourself in that way. And once you have that, you can have it top of mind, and you can see it, and you can compare the two videos, and you can be like, oh my god, that's like 200% jump in 5 months. Like if you watch the first, I think, 10 videos on this channel, you're gonna be like, oh no. This one is like, this one today is so much more entertaining. It's so much more like lively. And I'm not even putting energy into this conversation or whatever it is. It's I'm just speaking, and it doesn't take any more effort than it actually, it took more effort in the beginning than it takes right now. Now it's rewarding, and I have a lot of fun, and I get positive emotions out of the situation. And yeah, I think that's a great idea, man. Like when you build, let's it's with the title cards. So when you build momentum, it's not that your skill becomes better, but you also get so much more positive emotions from the skill that it becomes not only effortless but super enjoyable. Like you get excited, you get positive emotions, like I don't know, you get engaged, you get happy, joyful, and playful as well. So it becomes so much better, the skill that you are doing, like after 500 repetitions. And even if those repetitions are not really that impressive, the sum, the amount of them, the sheer number makes it so that one of these days you just get pumped and you talk for like, I don't know how much time. Let's see. For 27 minutes. You talk for 27 minutes and you're like, wow, I've I've spoken for 27 minutes, and I just came up with this crazy interesting idea, where at least for me it's a crazy interesting idea about the fact that when you are building this momentum and this skill, you, even if you are, the idea, to put it succinctly, is that at the beginning you feel, even if the quality is garbage, you will feel like 5 months later or 500 repetitions later, you will feel that you are expanding less energy on the task than at the beginning, when it was the first day and you couldn't do it for like 27 minutes. You did it for like 1 minute. That 1 minute zapped you of way more energy. It was the most intense thing you were doing. And it was such a low quality output for the amount of energy that you were requiring to do that. Well, let's revisit that idea succinctly in a short. So in the beginning, let's think about it. In the beginning, the amount of energy required to do a mediocre output is tremendous. For 1 minute of video that is garbage, you will expand more energy and emotional, more energy. Let's just say more energy. It will take you more energy than it will take you to do 30 minutes after 500 repetitions, because the 30 minutes will feel like you are not expending any energy. It will actually feel like you are gaining energy because it will pump up your, now it's, that's all all of the explanation. It's because, and now I'm making parentheses. I'm adding to the list. Uh, so it will feel like you are adding more energy into your actions, into your life by doing it. Like after 500 or 600 repetitions, you will feel like you are gaining energy instead of losing it. Sure, if you do it for 30 minutes, you're going to be like, I need to breathe and drink some tea and something else. But I haven't put it like that, and I didn't think about it like that until I had, like, this is not, even if you like conceptually think about it and you understand this idea, until you lived it, you don't have this grasp on the idea, and you don't know it for real. You only understand it right here. You don't understand it in a visceral way. You don't understand it firsthand. Like some things are only, you can only know firsthand. Like this thing, yeah, sure, I can say I understand it, but if you don't live it, well, it's worthless. Like, what's the point of understanding the fact that if you do something, if you do 100, well, 500 repetitions of something, you will start to gain energy from it? Like, what would be the purpose of knowing that? Like, sure, it might help you, but if you don't do anything with that information, if you don't apply that knowledge, that wisdom, what's the purpose of it? Like, why? It's like you don't get it. You don't get the idea fully. And yeah, I think it's a very powerful, like all of the ideas that I had in my life, like have not come to me like, oh, came up with an idea. No. All of the greatest ideas that I ever had came from doing and then extracting the knowledge out of it. Because those are not ideas, they are principles. They are principles. I have written here. Let's put this one here. Okay, and let's go. Let's go. Where is it? Resources, practice, boredom, skill free clarity, principles. So, principles, they are principles, not ideas. Like they become principles, they become ideas that are very, very useful for doing things instead of thinking about things and rationalizing and sitting in your mind so much. And it's just because they are built on proof. And you might think that, oh, yeah, I can borrow, like, I can borrow proof. I can look at studies. I can look at that. And I'm like, yeah, sure, but the studies are not really solving your problems. Like, I like to give this analogy about the gym. Like, this idea that I've learned about the gym. It's way easier to go to the gym every day than it is to go 3 times a week. I know it sounds preposterous, but going every day will build a habit in 38 days. Going 3 times a day, it will build a habit in 9 months or more. 3 times a week, I don't know how many, that's 10 weeks, 11, I don't know. 38 repetitions. So you still have to go 38 times to build a habit, but it takes so long and you can fail so many times because it's a longer time horizon. So it's way easier to go every day because if you go every day, you build this momentum and you build this habit so much faster. And if you go there and it's gonna get like it's gonna teach you how to go to the gym faster because if you know you're gonna go be there tomorrow, you're not gonna kill yourself in the gym. Most of the people that really kill themselves in the gym, they just go 3 times a week and they focus too much on efficiency instead of like being there every day and doing the work. And it gets addicting. Like you will not every person that was I had like so much uh success in making people love the gym by giving them the opportunity and going with them every single day. They just started to love it and they were like, this is the greatest thing. And I'm like, yeah, now it's the greatest thing because you've done it for 3 months every day and you haven't killed yourself once. And 3 months later, you're like, I look so good. Yeah. because but it's not only because of the what's them called, because of the results. It's because one of the greatest things about going to the gym is how you feel about yourself and how you feel about the strength that you have and the capacity and how whenever you walk you're like, whoa. It's another beautiful night. It's not actually night, it just got darker for a bit. Oh, Sophie, you're making me so dirty. Please go away. You've made me so dirty. So it's late. I've been super productive. I knew that if I quit social media once again, I get super productive. And I want to, well, I didn't quit social media. I just quit social media until I finished the work that I set out for myself to do that day. Well, I don't really set things to do. I just have a few tasks, and then everything else is just fireworks, just spur of the moment work that is very rewarding. I did another beautiful video. I think I filmed about 120 gigs of video today or more. I don't know yet. And I'm gonna finish this video. And after I finish this video, I'm gonna edit, go out with Sophie. And after I go out with Sophie, I'm gonna come back and um, watch some social media. That's what I'm gonna do. I have to edit 4 videos today. I've already edited 2 of them and I have to edit 4 more videos. This one, 2 meditations and a work with me session. So that's gonna be it. Thank you for watching and see you tomorrow.